Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back on the Stonadge channel, and big sad times. No more Premier League football for 2022-2023. But today and for the rest of this week and sometimes as well, we're going to be celebrating that season and also watching some very, very big finals. Of course, we've got the FA Cup final coming up. We've got the UEFA Conference League final. We've got the Europa League final. We've got the Champions League final too. So much coming up for you guys on the Stonadge channel and guys as well. I will be back to be recording pre-recorded videos. We're going to be getting daily content out because I've got not much to do. To be honest, I found myself sat at home today thinking, I'm bored. I'm bored, lads. I want to get on live and do more videos, so that's what I'm going to be doing. That is the plan. But it's good to see David Falafel Hog is here. Jackie boy, how are we? Good to see you as well. Basically, lads, it's going to be a roast of Chris tonight. And a realization of how bad my ball knowledge is, because realistically, I've gone back through on my Mundo Sport or back on Mundo Sporto on my predictions for the Premier League. Oh, it's awful! It's awful watching, lads. It really is awful. It's dreadful to watch. So yeah, I can't wait to show you lot. And to actually think about realistically, to think about what on earth we had going on here on the Stonadge, on the Mundo Sporto channel to start off with. Also, what I will say is the camera quality on there is awful. What on earth was I doing? It was lagging as anything, but I think it was a StreamYard thing. Love you too, Louis, mate. How are we? Good to see you. Basically, I want to get some thoughts in the chat before we get straight into this. Hey, Shyed, good to see you as well. We are going to be going live most of the days at 7:30, but we've gone to 8 o'clock tonight just because it was a little bit later as well. But most nights will be 7:30. It's just a nice, easier, or maybe even 7. I'm touching and go maybe to go even earlier, maybe 7 o'clock to go 7 till 8, that sort of thing. So I want to get some of your guys' thoughts. Who do you guys think that I had in unusual positions? Because there's certain teams that I'm there and I'm like, Chris, what were you thinking? So what I'm going to be doing at the same time is also getting counting up the differential. So at the end, I'll have a final score and see how I did in the end. Hey, Chicken Master, good to see you as well. How are we, mate? We're going to be, basically counting up, doing it like Spencer FC style, basically. Counting up sort of the differential on the places. So, for example, if I predicted Everton to finish 20th, and they finished first, then there'd be a 19 differential. That's basically it. So it's nice and easy for you guys to make sense of. That's basically it. There's nothing else. Hope Hope Liverpool and FCK meet in the Champions League. Oh wait. I can't believe that, Hog. All right, leave me be. Leave me be. So much pain. How did this start the week? How about you? Yeah, I was sorry I hadn't streamed over the weekend, guys. I'm really sorry about that. I was going to, but unfortunately, the issues was I was at my cousin's wedding, so had the weekend off. Me and Izzy had a very, very good time and enjoyed ourselves. It was really good fun actually, and we had good fun. We enjoyed it all. We did really, really enjoy it, and we missed out on final day, which saw obviously Everton stay in the Premier League. Southampton, Leeds, and Leicester in the end got relegated, which was a crazy ending to the season. I really did kind of want Everton to go down, but that is just the way of the world, ladies and gentlemen. And then we had others as well. Liverpool, Southampton 4-4, crazy game. Then the playoff final. Congratulations to Luton. Congratulations to Sheffield Wednesday. Congratulations to Carlisle United as well. All getting promoted to their respective leagues. Luton Town in the Premier League. I know it's been said a million times, but that is such an incredible story. This is one of the stories of the footballing history, really, that Luton have gone from non-league to Premier League. Pele and Panzu has gone from League 2 to from the National League to the Premier League with Luton Town. Incredible achievement. So fair play to them, and they've done a real good job. Hey, Alex, good to see you, mate, as well. So we're gonna get started. We've had 6 minutes of waffle, so we're gonna get started and see what the differentials are. So in 20th place, I had Bournemouth. So I had Bournemouth. Realistically, that I think a lot of people would have had that. I think that Bournemouth coming up under Scott Parker, it didn't really didn't really work out, as any of us expected. He was sacked after 4 games, or he left the club, sorry, and it worked out so differently. Gary O'Neill came in. What an incredible job he actually got. He did. It was incredible. So I put them in 20th position. I don't know what I'm actually going to do with this one, but we'll see how it is. Bournemouth's actual position, which I think a lot of people did get wrong. Hey, Cod, you remember, my man. You remember, that's why. So Bournemouth's actual finish in the Premier League table, I cannot quite believe I'm saying this. They stayed in the Premier League like they did. Bournemouth's actual finish was 15th, so that's a 5 differential. I think realistically with Bournemouth, it is a matter of time still. They've brought in some very good young players in January as well. Ouattara. They brought in Ilya Zabani. Neto came into the fold. Matias Vigna, who's a little bit older but still did a very, very good job as well. Hamad Traore. Marco Senesi was a very, very good signing for the Cherries at that time. Brought in Semenyo too from Bristol City. There's a lot of talent in that team, but there's not a lot of real Premier League talent. But obviously, you see the likes of Billing this season really came to the fore. David Brooks coming back from, obviously, cancer. What an incredible player. Adam Smith still going strong for Bournemouth at the age of 32. He's been at the club since 2014. He's had an incredible career, played 22 games again this season, really being a big, big part of Bournemouth's season. So to them finishing in 15th with a 5 differential, that's where we started. I'm going to keep a tally here. I'm going to have to keep a tally because otherwise I'll miss out. So Bournemouth is a 5 differential. They actually finished in 15th place. I predicted them to finish 20th. So I think everyone did. Hey, Mason, how are we doing? Cod, you got gifted a membership, my friend. You got gifted a membership. Good to see you. Yeah, so it's good to have you all. So let me just make a list of this one. Liz is in the chat. Hey, Liz, how are we doing? So I had Bournemouth to finish 20th. And they actually came at 15th. So that's a 5 differential. That's not an awful start, though. It's not an awful start. So let's go into my 19th place position. You can go and find this on, I think it's called Craig Donia now, the channel, because I left obviously everything went to pot really with that because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I still don't really. But Everton, I put in 19th position. Now, a lot of people said to me, Chris, you're just being overly critical and biased, that, you're going to put them in 19th just because you don't like them. And partially that was true, but also part of it was the fact that they were in dire straits, really, the season prior. They had a pretty awful campaign with Frank Lampard, managed to stay up just at the end, and they've pretty much been the same this season. They finished 17th, so they stayed up on the final day only because they beat Bournemouth by a 1-0 on the final day. Bournemouth, who were already on the beach, finished 3 points clear of Everton in the end. I realistically, I think at the end of the day, Everton are going to be in trouble long term. I think that's pretty clear to see. But I think they did so well to stay up this year because I think everything was against them. So that's a -2 differential, by the way. It's all right, Cod. It's all right, my man. If you go onto the community tab and click community. Click community. If you go into the community tab, there is a link to our Discord as well. So if you are a member, you can join the Discord, and we have lots of great fun in there. You get behind the scenes photos and everything. You even get photos of me not shaving, but shaven, like fully shaven. It's already on the way back as well. Alexis McAllister should be done this week. We are going to have loads and loads of transfer talk. There will be a series starting Transfer Thursday. We'll be doing everything will be all about transfers as well. We might even do Transfer Tuesday and Transfer Thursday. Who knows? We might do 2 as well. But yeah, Bournemouth and Everton I had to go down. And the other team I had to go down, ladies and gentlemen, the other team I had to go down was Southampton. Again, The only one I actually got correct, to be honest. So again, it's a 2 differential, which isn't bad. They just had a poor season in the end. Nothing really clicked for the Saints. It just didn't happen, did it, for them? So many real great young talents, and it just didn't come through for them, did it? Unfortunately for Ralph Hasenhüttl, for Nathan Jones, and for Ruben Selles. It just didn't work out for them in the end. And you know what? We can't put too much blame on the young players. I think the strategy was a bit strange. I do think, though, and I'm putting my neck out there on this one, Southampton will be the only team that have gone down that will come up. To come straight back up. I think they will really deal well with the Championship, and the fact that Leicester are going to be losing a lot of players. I think Leeds will be losing a lot of players too. I'm not sure Southampton will lose that many. Obviously, you've got JWP that's off. You'll probably see a couple of the younger talents, like maybe Lavia Bazunu included as well, maybe leave the club. But apart from that, there's a lot of players there who have a point to prove, and have a point to prove by getting back up into the Premier League. So that's another -2. That gets me on to -9 for the first two. What are you chuckling at? What are you chuckling at, you?
Not doing too well.
She's laughing at me. I did quite well. That's quite bad. Did Izzy catch the bouquet? Nah, I don't think so.
Did they even track it?
Transfer. Mike Tyson was going to do transfer Saturday. I love that. Spenny, how we doing, buddy? Good to see you. So yeah, no, it's good to have you. Good to have you all in. So I had Bournemouth 20th, Everton 19th, Southampton 18th. So I only got one right, but I was on the right lines with Everton. I think you guys will give me that. So in 17th place, I had Fulham, and this is the first big L of the day. I think a lot of people had Fulham to go down, actually. But in the end, they ended up finishing smack bang in the middle and finished 10th in the Premier League. So that's a massive 7 differential, which is a huge, huge one. They completely proved me wrong, and I think proved a lot of people wrong, Fulham. What an exceptional season from Marco Silva, from Mitrovic, from... can you not creak the door? From Marco Silva, from Mitrovic, from the brilliance in Bernd Leno in goal. What an incredible player he is. The fact that he came through, and you know, there's so much. You know, what a bargain, by the way, Leno, as I say. Defensively as well, they were really solid. The signing of Issa Diop really came through for them. So yeah, there's a lot of top players that have come through at Fulham. Whether they can, again, replicate it this year, I don't know. But Fulham, what a season. What a season. 10th place, 52 points. They were 18 points clear of the relegation zone. They were only 9 points off 7th. And there were certain points in the season where you thought they might have switched off. They even went 1-0 up at Old Trafford on the final day. But yeah, they're a top side. And Marco Silva deserves a lot of credit for what he's done with that club. Like, he's changed the culture of it, top to bottom. I don't know if they can, like, get higher than this. Like, whether they can try and target a cup, maybe. Try and go on a cup run. Maybe do what like the likes of Brighton have done this season as well. But, yeah, what a season for Fulham. Nick Nack, how are we doing? I seem to remember you being in the original stream as well. A lot of you guys, actually. A couple of you guys in the original stream back on Monday. So, what a season from Fulham to finish in 10th position. And fair play to Marco Silva's boys. 16th place, again. I was in the ballpark with this one. It was Leeds United. They finished, in the end, they finished 19th and were relegated. It was a pretty pitiful end to what looked like a promising season to Leeds United at the start of the campaign. Jesse Marsh had just kept them up, and they brought in some exciting young players, the Brendan Aronsons of this world, the Tyler Adamses. They even brought in Jorginho Ruta in January, top players. And it just didn't work out in the end. I think they probably had the best sort of energy out of the relegated sides. They tried. I just don't think they had the quality in the end. Weston McKennie was called a fat bastard when he was walking off. You know, it's a real poor end to the season for Leeds United. And Sam Allardyce was the man to take them down. Of course, Javi Gracia had a real poor spell in the end. Even though it started well, we all thought Leeds might have got out of it. I think they'll struggle in the Championship next season. I can't lie. Matty, how are you doing, buddy? I think they'll struggle in the Championship next season. I think so. I don't know how many players they'll manage to keep hold of. I'm sure they'll keep hold of the core that got them up from the Championship first time. But having the likes of Ayling, having Cooper, playing at the top level. I'm not sure what will happen with Meslier. I think he'll leave. And to be honest, I think he's drastically overrated anyway. But it was a poor season for Leeds, and it's a -3 differential for Leeds. So they finished 19th in the Premier League. Yeah, we thought Fulham and Bournemouth was bad. I think Leeds is quite good. So that puts me on a total now of so that's -19. So there we go. That's the one. Next up in 15th place. I know these ones aren't particularly the most exciting, but again, a big error from me on this one. I went with Brentford to finish in 15th place. And they ended up finishing in 9th place. That's a -6 from me. What a season. Again, only losing 9 games. That's the same amount of losses as Liverpool and Manchester United. And only 3 more than Arsenal. Yes, they won 15 and drew 14 games, Brentford, but they finished only 2 points off Aston Villa in the Conference League, only 3 points from Brighton, and only 8 points away from Liverpool in 5th. Incredible season from the Bees. It really, really is. They've done the only team in the league this season to do the double over Manchester City, and they're the only team to beat them at the Etihad as well. Of course, next season will be an issue. It will be an issue without Ivan Toney. I think the start of the season will be different, but they've given him a new contract. They've given him, a real bit of faith. But I put them in 15th place, and realistically, I think they're now establishing themselves as a real good Premier League side. I don't think, like Leeds, they'll fall back down into the trap of spending too much. They'll always spend within their means, and they'll always sell too. I don't know whether they will. The only reason I put them in here, I believe, was that Eriksson wasn't at the club anymore. They replaced him with Mikael Damsgaard. He hasn't done too much, but you've seen the likes of Matthias Jensen come through really well. Tony's had an incredible season. Mbeumo's had a very good season. Johan Vissa's had a very good season. There's so many top players at Brentford, and it's always spread across. I know Tony's the star, but it doesn't feel like he's the star. It feels like there's so many, top talents. Ethan Pinnock scored the winner there against Manchester City as well. So it's a -6 for me on that one, and I did get that very, very wrong, unfortunately, which apologies to any Brentford fans. I know there's not too many of you, but fair play. 14th, I put Crystal Palace. Again, not too much of a differential. These ones are always very, very difficult. They actually finished in 11th place, so it's a -3 for me. It could have been a lot worse for Palace. They were at one point looking like they were going to go into free fall, but Roy Hodgson came in, steadied the ship, and actually got them to 11th place. So if you look at Crystal Palace's league history in the Premier League, it's actually their second best ever finish in the Premier League. So I'm just going to get it up here. Their best historical league placements. So it's actually their best finish ever in the Premier League in 2022-23. So this season, right? So 13-14, 13th. They finished 13th in 14-15, 11th in 15-16, 12th in 16-17, 11th in 17-18, 14th in 18-19, 11th in 19-20, 12th, 11th, and then 11th again. It's a real top season. They actually finished 10th, back in 2014-15 under Alan Pardew. Incredible season for them. Well, fair play. Hey, Mike, good to see you as well. How are we? Lovely to see you all in here. Incredible. Not too far with that one. Eze, what a season from Eberechi Eze. He's been the one that has really carried them through. I think he got double figures in goals and assists. So what a campaign for Eze. I'd love to see Eze's full stats, actually. I'm going to get them up here. Eze stats 22-23. This season, wow. That boy has come of age, and he's also earned himself an England call-up. We will be doing some international watch-alongs as well on this channel, so make sure you keep an eye out on for that one. Eze this season, Eze, as he should be known, 10 goals, 4 assists in the league, and that is just brilliant. He is a top player, and I really, really like him. Oh, there we go. Oh, Liz, what are you doing? But yeah, Palace fans, there needs to be a bit of movement, I feel. But for a club to just be staying in the Premier League, fair play to them. So, lads, For the first time in this video, I have got one spot on in 13th place. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's a pretty poor season for Wolves, to be honest. It's been one where they've conceded a lot of needless goals. They've only scored 31 goals. They're the lowest scorers in the Premier League. But Julian Lopetegui has done an incredible job. They were 20th when he came into the club, and he just picked up some wins out of nowhere, really. I can't believe that Liverpool conceded 3 to these lot, by the way. How awful is that back in February? How bad were we at this point? How bad were we? Well, no, they beat West Ham United. They beat Liverpool. They beat Tottenham Hotspur. They beat Leeds really well. They beat Brentford. They beat Chelsea. They just squeaked out wins when they needed to, and it got them up to 13th place. They were safe a little while ago, to be honest. A lot of people thought they might be able to push up into the top half. I worry for them next season, though. I really, really, really worry for them next season. I genuinely think they could be a trouble. They could be in serious trouble. Yeah, it's a genuine issue, that one. I think with their financial problems, I genuinely feel they could be in trouble. Moutinho is probably going to leave the club. We don't know about Ruben Neves yet, and whether he will stay at the club. Realistically, where do their goals come from? They brought in Diego Costa. I don't think they can rely on Raul Jimenez anymore. I would say an early prediction is Wolves will be very much embroiled in a relegation battle next season. It's a real shame because they were so close to getting up to Champions League places back before COVID-19 struck. And it sort of changed the path of Wolves a little bit. So yeah, that's a bang on prediction for me. Now, I put in the next position Nottingham Forest to finish 12th. In the end, they finished 16th. A lot of people were saying, Chris, you're a bit crazy for predicting them that high. And at one point this season, they were pretty high in the league. And then at other points, they were bottom of the league. But the craziness of this campaign has been the end for Nottingham Forest. A win over Arsenal, that crazy win over Southampton, the win over Brighton. The performance they put in at Anfield was exceptional. The home fans this year at Nottingham Forest have been incredible. Real top team. Moutinho is 37, yeah, to be fair, Nick Nack. So I got a -4 differential there. I think Steve Cooper's done an incredible job. And yeah, a lot of people were saying it that the Forest were going to go down. I thought immediately with that fan base that they would be in a real battle. They'll always be, away from home. Nottingham Forest away will always be a battle for anyone. There's not many games where they've sat there and been rolled over. And I think they can be really, really proud of their season. Of course, beating Liverpool as well as beating Arsenal. Fair play. They finished in 16th position. I put them in 12th, so that's a 4 differential for me. So in total so far, I have a differential of 7, 13, 16, 23, 25, 27, 32. So I'm not doing too bad. So far. Next up into 11th place. And here we have probably one of my worst predictions of the season. It's right up there. I mean, it's not the worst. There's one more that's really bad to come. And it's not the one you might expect. But 11th place, I had Newcastle United. Yeah, that's a -8 differential. That's a real bad one, that from me. They finished 3rd in the Premier League. What an incredible season from Eddie Howe and Newcastle United. Fair play. I didn't see it coming, if I'm being honest. I really did not see it coming. They did an incredible job. The consistency. I didn't think the signings were good enough. I didn't think Alexander Isak would hit the ground running as much as he has done. I made a real mess up on this one. And I'm happy to look back on it and say I didn't do too well. I thought they'd have a real poor season. I can't lie. It's a bit of an awful prediction, this one. I can't lie. I look back on it and what was Summer Chris doing? What was he thinking? Newcastle United to finish 11th place. So that's a -8 differential. Yeah, they were on top 4 form. I thought they might fall off. But unfortunately not. I really don't know ball, lads. I really don't know ball, but yeah, Newcastle United to finish 11th. They finished in 3rd, so fair play. You know. Yeah, that's a massive L for me. I can't lie. I'm walking away in huge shame. In 10th, I didn't think they'd have quite as good a season as they had, but it's another -4 differential, and it's Brighton. Yeah, I'm just trying to move. Oh, they finished 4th. Oh, they finished 4th. It's fine. I don't know why they finished 3rd. So it's only -7, lads. It's only -7. I don't know why they finished 4th. Yeah, I don't know ball. I'm dumb. Yeah. Brighton, I put to finish in 10th place. Yeah, they finished 4th. It's all right. Yeah, I got that wrong. I don't know why. I don't know why I believe they finished 3rd. I can't. Don't know why. So in 10th place, I put Brighton. They obviously finished 6th. I mean, I couldn't give more credit to Roberto De Zerbi and Brighton and Hove Albion this season. They have absolutely taken strides. Made a very good start to the campaign as well under Graham Potter, which people seem to forget. But then De Zerbi came in and took them to a new level. Won 18 of their 38 games, drew 8, lost 12. Some famous wins over over Manchester United, over Liverpool, over Arsenal away from home. They gave Man City a real good game at the end of the season as well. Got to an FA Cup semi-final, beat Chelsea home and away, beat Bournemouth. They just had an incredible campaign, really. Beat Arsenal in the EFL Cup as well. Wow! I mean, it's just unbelievable how much this team has come together and improved. I put them 10th, and for them to come 6th, I mean, next season is going to be a real difficult one to predict for them, with Europa League as well, for them to contend with. Alex, mate, we'll do it together, mate. We'll do it together. So yeah, Brighton. I'm only a 4 differential there, so it's not too bad. It takes my differential to 43 now, which isn't too good. In 9th. Now this might be my worst of the day. In 9th place, I had Leicester, which is a -9. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking on this one, because they couldn't bring many players in. I don't really know, to be honest. I put them in 9th. I thought they did well in the second half of last season. They turned things around and looked like, they could really make a wave. Oh my God. Like, lads, Leicester in 9th. What was I thinking? I had Leicester to finish above Newcastle. What was I doing? Like, I thought, Jamie Vardy would be able to come through and still score goals like he did last season. He came through and they did really, really well when he came back into the team. No, Maddison's fallen off this season. Tielemans has fallen off this season. Indeed, he has become an absolute shadow of his former self. Too many Percy picks are consumed. Yeah, nobody really predicted them to go down, but not many people would have predicted them to finish 9th. Leicester on grass are bad. They are awful. And, oh, lads. It was awful. Good to see you, Yusuf, as well, by the way. That's the worst of the video. Like, literally, it's the worst one of the video. And Leicester, unfortunately, were relegated to the Championship. Even though they won 2-1 on the final day, wasn't enough for them. They beat West Ham. Actually, I'm not sure whether it is the worst one of the day. We'll have to see. Going on to 8th place. And this one I'm quite proud of. But I didn't predict this team to finish in 8th because of the way that they did. And they actually finished in 7th. And it was Aston Villa finished in... Hey, Mohammed, good to see you as well. So I put Aston Villa in 8th place. And I'm really happy with this position because they finished 7th. I put it in there because I just love Stevie. I love Stevie. And that's why I wanted them to do really, really well. I thought they made some good summer signings. And he got sacked. And then they got Unai Emery and actually finished 7th. So, You know what? It's one of my better positions. One of my better ones. I'm really proud of this one. And I don't know. A lot of people would have had them somewhere near the bottom, maybe, under Stevie. It was literally because I love Stevie. And then they got Unai Emery, and it's actually got them 7th. What a season for Aston Villa. So they'll go into the Conference League next year, and fair play to them as well. Ollie Watkins had an incredible season, and he's got untapped potential, to be fair. Almost right for the wrong reason. It's literally like that. It's like if you do a maths problem wrong, get the right answer anyway, I'm still happy. He did so well, Unai Emery. I'm not sure, and I don't think they'll be able to keep up their league form next season. If I'm being honest, I can sort of see them finishing 13th or 14th, depending on their Conference League season and depending on their summer recruitment as well. So, yeah, moving on to 7th place. And in 7th place, I had Manchester United. Again, Liverpool bias, I suppose, which is 4 places off. It could have been a lot worse for Manchester United this season. I think if they'd have played to that standard last season, they would have finished in 7th. I don't actually think they were that good this season. There were certain points where I think they really got through games, won games at the right time. 7th place, though. Yeah, I think I was a bit harsh maybe on Erik ten Hag. If they'd have kept Ronaldo, who knows what could have happened. But I think the fact they got rid of Ronaldo, got Casemiro in, was an incredible move. I think a lot of people would have said after the first couple of games that United 7th might have been actually a very good prediction for them. But they got back into the Champions League, and it was a really good season for Erik ten Hag. They could come away with a cup double as well. And yeah, you know what? I will happily eat humble pie on that. I think they still have a long way to go, and I think next season will be a lot harder. I think you'll see a revitalised Liverpool. I think you'll see Man City still right up there. I think you'll see Arsenal right up there. I think you'll see Newcastle right up there again. I think you'll see a revitalised Chelsea. I think you'll see Brighton still causing a lot of trouble as well. But yeah, there's a lot of teams now that will make it difficult for Man United, and I don't think they'll quite yet be at the top level. But if they can finish in the Champions League again next year and keep building in that regard, I think that's the way they're going to have to build. It's not going to be a 2-season job for United. It's going to be a long time, and that's where they've got the right man in there in Erik ten Hag. And I'm envious of their strategy, to be honest. They look like they're actually have a bit of brain, which is absolutely awful. But I really hope that that they don't come back to power. But it's a fantastic season for Manchester United, I have to say. A fantastic season for them. And also what I will say is United fans need to not get too ahead of themselves. Man City are in the middle of a dynasty. Realistically, the fact that Liverpool won a league title against Man City in the middle of a dynasty like this, in a Bayern-like dynasty, is an incredible achievement. And that's just how it is. So they're not going to win the league straight away. But if they keep building and building, keep getting in the Champions League, they will only get better and keep purchasing the right players at the right time. If they continue to get their strategy right, get their sort of shit out, then yeah. If it was easy to predict the league table, football would be boring. Absolutely, you're right. You're bang on there. And now moving on to 6th place, where I put West Ham. Oh, what was I thinking, lads? What was I thinking? I was thinking West Ham, building on a 6th and a 7th place finish. They're going to finish 6th again. They ended up finishing 14th, which is a -8. Let's talk about West Ham United. As we know, I know I've got a West Ham man in the chat, in Alex. I think this season was one of underachievement, but it could all be rectified with one victory, which is going to be live on the channel on the 7th of June. Right here. Well, not right here. On the other one. Which is West Ham in 6th. No one thought they'd be as shit as they were. No, that is true. They sort of had a real poor start to the season. I don't quite understand what happened. But then they had a real good upturn of form, sticking with their manager, who I will vehemently get behind David Moyes at West Ham United. I think a lot of West Ham fans do not know how spoilt they are with David Moyes, because realistically, West Ham United for the last 20 years have had one season in Europe. One season. A couple of seasons because of the fair play rule where they get locked out by Astra Gugu, even my grandmother's better. Come on, Hog. I am personally, I think he's one of the best managers that West Ham could have in that position. To get them out of a relegation scrap, which he did with ease, and now they're in a knockout final. I just don't understand how any West Ham fans genuinely want him to leave that football club. I just don't know. It baffles me. So, David Moyes, I love him. And, so -8 for me. -8. Fifth place. It's getting even worse, lads. Why? Oh, I'm so bad at this. In fifth place, I had Chelsea. Now, again, that's a -7. No one thought that they would be as bad as they were. I understand this. A lot of people had Chelsea. Some people had them to win the title, lads. 11 wins, 11 draws, and 16 losses, leading them to finishing 12th place in the Premier League, and it could have got a whole lot worse. If it wasn't for the fact Thomas Tuchel was in charge of the club at the start of the season, they would have been down, scoring just 38 goals all season. Let me put this into context for you. Only Southampton, Bournemouth, Everton, and Wolves scored less. Only those 4 clubs. Nottingham Forest scored the same amount, and then as well, but then, Jesus wept, lads. You're getting outscored by West Ham, relegated Leicester and Leeds, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Aston Villa, Man United, who only scored 58 goals all season. Oh, Chelsea. Chelsea. They were awful. And I think they will come back under Poch next season. I'm not necessarily saying they'll be in the top 4. I think that realistically, Chelsea will finish probably 7th or 8th, maybe 6th or 7th next season, which is still a good season in the situation, but they need to get back into the Champions League ASAP. Realistically for Chelsea, the only way they're going to make their money back is by either selling assets or by getting in the Champions League, and they're going to throw more money at it, so I think they're going to have real trouble with financial fair play. They can't be throwing out 9-year contracts everywhere. I genuinely don't know. The thing is, there's actual talk of them loaning out Mikhailo Mudryk. I mean, lads, this guy cost them 80 million. It'd be like Liverpool saying, let's loan out Nunez. What? What's going on? It's baffling. Utterly baffling, really. I don't see it, lads. I don't see it. I don't know who was in charge of recruitment, who's in charge of strategy, but they give their heads a wobble, unfortunately. I put Chelsea in 5th place. So now it's time for the top 4. And you know what? It's again, lads, we're talking pain. Huge pain for me. Because I got this one. I got this one slightly right. So a lot of people were thinking that this club would fall off into the nothingness yet again after bottling top 4. I predicted Arsenal to finish 4th this season, which was 2 off because they finished 2nd. I think what we have to go for now and say what I would say right now and out loud, Mikel Arteta, and I know certain Arsenal fans are deluded enough to want him to leave. Mikel Arteta has done the most incredible job at Arsenal. To consider they were a club with no identity, no structure, no recruitment plan, to now have this vibrant young, the second youngest squad in the league, probably the first youngest now, because Southampton have gone, to get them to finish in 2nd place, to actually be in a title race with this crazy club, Manchester City, who are, they're going to be above the rest anyway. They basically got themselves a 5-point advantage with the amount of dodgy dealings, or maybe a 115-point advantage, who knows. For them to be in a title race, and I know they bottled it, and I know it's funny that they bottled it, But do you know what? They just need the respect. They need some respect. And he deserves some respect on his name. I put them in 4th. I think that was a fair enough assessment at the time. No one would have thought how good, we all knew how good Saka is. We all knew how good Odegaard is. We all knew who good Gabby Jesus is. And by the way, just on Gabby Jesus, just want to put this one out there. I said in the Anfield Agenda Discord in August, I said Ivan Toney would outscore Gabby Jesus this season. I said that. And I was ridiculed. I was ridiculed to the end of time. Let's have a look at Premier League goals this season, shall we? Ivan Toney, Premier League goals this season. Let's have a look, shall we? He scored 20 Premier League goals. Gabby Jesus, yes, there was an injury there. Let's have a look, shall we, at his Premier League goals this season. 11 Premier League goals in 7 less games. So, just want to say, some things I do know. I know some things. Everyone was saying he was a favourite for the Golden Boot, lads. Everyone was telling me, he was getting in my ear, he's a favourite for the Golden Boot. No, he's not. He was never. I had that. I was so angry. So yeah, 11 Premier League goals all season for Gabby Jesus. Which is still an incredible signing, and I think he is going to still play very, very well for Arsenal in the coming years. But, good season for Arsenal. And I predicted him to finish 4th, which is a -2 differential, meaning that I had 2 points on. In 3rd, I put Spurs. Lads. Spurs. They ended up finishing... They ended up finishing in 8th place, which is a -5. I think a lot of people had Spurs in the top 4 this season. A lot of people had Spurs in the top 4 this campaign. Because realistically, Antonio Conte, bringing in the players that he did, like Harry Kane, in great form, which he was. Son had an awful season. Let's put that out there as well. Kulusevski had a pretty awful season too. So, Spurs, I genuinely worry. I worry for their future and what manager is going to take them forward. Where are Spurs going? Where are they going? Where are they headed? Is there going to be any opportunity for them to win a trophy at all? They're out of Europe next season. With Conte, yeah. If they'd have got Conte, if it kept Conte, I don't know. I think he just didn't like the job. He still did an incredible job, to get them where they were, which I think you have to look at now with how Stellini happened and how Ryan Mason happened as well. I don't know where they're going to look forward now. Who's going to be at the club? What's going to happen? I think they're probably the most difficult club to predict. They've got the infrastructure there. Will it be that impactful? I don't know. But I had them in 3rd. I think a lot of people had them in 3rd as well. It was quite a widely regarded thing that they were probably going to be in and around the title race potentially. It didn't work out for Tottenham Hotspur, unfortunately, and that is why they ended up in 8th place. So, lads, here's some more embarrassment for you. It's been an awful predictions from me. It might be the worst. To be honest, looking back. It's only a 1 differential. But I had Man City to finish in 2nd. I let my biases take over me, lads. I had City in 2nd and Liverpool in 1st. So of course City in 2nd. They finished 1st. Liverpool actually ended up finishing 5th this season. Let's talk first about the runners up in my table. Manchester City. underestimated Manchester City hugely. Yeah. I didn't feel like I'm gonna try and defend myself here. Yeah, I think I underestimated them, and I think that I made a huge error in thinking that Haaland maybe wasn't as hyped as they ended up being. So Manchester City scored 94 goals this season, 38 of which were scored by Erling Haaland. How many did they score in 21-22, by the way? Oh, they scored 99. Oh, so my point was correct. 99 goals the City got last season. They actually scored less with Haaland on the pitch. Just saying. They didn't start particularly well, but yeah, thinking about it, they just, as soon as they got into a title race with Arsenal, I don't know why I even had a thought of them not winning it. Yeah. There was that famous Chris Stonadge quote, Man City would score less with Haaland in the team. I was right in that one. It's a shame they're probably going to win the treble, though, isn't it? I'm in so much pain. I thought the Liverpool would go all out for the league this season and City would go all out for the Champions League. It just doesn't work like that, does it, though, really? And Liverpool as well. Obviously, I'm going to do a bit more of a in-depth Liverpool review at the end of the week because obviously I'm a Liverpool fan, so a lot of people will be interested in my thoughts in that one, but or at least 10 of you. I just, for me, I look at it. There's a lot of misdemeanors, obviously from the owners. There was no looking at the issue. Looking at the midfield issue wasn't the greatest idea to get Artur in the last second. Fabio Carvalho, there's been thoughts about him. Like Nunez, I think he had done well. I said at the start of the season, 15 goals would be a very, very good season for Nunez because it's a completely different culture, completely different place. And I do think he's a slow burner, but he will work out. Losing Mane turned out doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world. He's not really gone and done very much at Bayern Munich. He's won the league title, yes, but he's won the league title with Bayern Munich. Yeah. So much pain. And losing Mane, I was vehemently say, I always did, that it wasn't as big a miss as we would have made out. He had a very, very good last 6 months, but a very poor 18 months before that. It just didn't. He came up in the big moments brilliantly, and I love Sadio Mane, but it was the right time. Like it's the right time for Firmino now. It just feels like he has to go out and do what do something else somewhere else, new challenges and that. Whereas I always felt confident that Mohamed Salah was the one that we needed to keep around. I don't think that he has the same. I think he has a lot longer durability than Mane, and I think Salah will continue to do what he does for the next 4 to 5 years, whether at Liverpool or wherever. So yeah, I think Liverpool will be back next season, and yes, we did well to come back to finish in fifth. There was a period where we could have probably got top 4. There was a few frustrating results. I look back at Brentford away. I look back at Brighton away. I look back at Wolves away. I look at Forest. Diaz getting injured was bad. Realistically, we went and started really well after the World Cup. We went and beat Aston Villa 3-1. We went and beat Leicester. And then I thought, we're gonna make a comeback. And then we went and lost 3-1 to Brentford. And that summed up our season. 2 draws with Chelsea. And we've extended Adrian's contract. He is chief vibes merchant though, so we have to allow him. But anyway, that is my predicted table. So let me calculate my points. So it is 5, 7, 9, 14, 16, sorry. 19, 25, 28, 32, 39, 43, 52, 54. Oh my God. 58, 62, 69, 71, 76, 77, 81 off. Lads, I got 81 off. 81 places off. Now, the maximum I could get off, I believe, is... I don't know, but it's not far off that. 81 places off. I only got one place right, and that was Wolverhampton Wanderers. Like that. How awful is that? That is woeful. I need to learn what football is. Hello, you. What's that? Oh, nice. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a 10-minute early dip. I will be back tomorrow. We are going... Oh, all right then. Come on. Come on. Hello.
The things I do, right?
Come on. What are you doing? You can say hi to Izzy as well, because there's no half-time.
No half-time show, so I managed to convince him.
Yeah, but yeah, so here she is.
How good were your predictions?
Absolutely awful. I was 81 places off. I only got one prediction right, and that was Wolves to finish 13th.
Oh,
how awful is that, lads? Absolutely shows how unpredictable the league is, and it absolutely is, lads. It absolutely is.
Hi, Spencer. David.
Good to see you all anyway. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to be doing daily streams, and we're just going to be vibing, really, aren't we?
Are we?
We are. I'll be doing some videos as well. But yeah, basically that's it, lads. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.
David's